Hello, welcome to Straight Outta Compin family. Good to see all of you here today. Happy Sunday. We are going to be comping properties. Sorry for the confetti background. Normally, we'd have our awesome music getting us started, but we're going through some personnel change over here at jdamji Media. So we don't have it today. And Bobby's got the day off, and I didn't know how to switch it up, but all is well. Corianne, nice to see you, lovely.
Hi, Jamil. I think we're just bringing the Squad Up Summit party to our family today. That's the
Yeah,
reason for the background, y'all.
confetti. Squad Up Summit. What were your thoughts?
Oh, I mean, if you can't tell, I have the smelly cat voice. I from screaming and talking nonstop. So I've got my tea next to me. um, it was so
Did you
amazing.
call it a smelly cat voice?
Yeah, from Phoebe on Friends when she's like, "Smelly cat,
Okay. Did
smelly."
she have a funny voice when she did that?
Yeah, you're supposed to have like a deep, raspy, sexy voice.
Amazing.
What I'm going for. Um,
Well, it is
family.
deep. It's raspy. But welcome to Straight Outta Compin, guys. We're gonna get right into it today. Sadly, I didn't even think the text message went out to our community, so we're probably not going to have the same viewership as we would normally have on this. But all is good for those of you that are here. We're going to probably be able to get through all of the comps, or at least as many as we can that are in the chat. So we will use this to our advantage. Now, again, guys, we're going to be using the appraisal rules. I don't have them on hand here to go over them with you guys right now, but remember, we want to compare like to like, right? So if we think about it as, apples and apples, right? We want to compare two apples that are the same type of apple. But not only that, we want to compare two apples that were grown in the same orchard, from the same tree, at the same season, in the same environment. And so that's the type of energy we want to bring to what we're comparing when we're looking at different properties. So put your address in the chat. Corey and Ann and I are going to be using Privy, the best real estate software in the game. If you guys do not yet have Privy, we have an incredible offer for you guys where you can get 30% off the annual subscription or 20% off the monthly subscription. And you just go to runprivy.com. I'm going to put it in the chat. Runprivy.com. Use code COMPIN for the discount. So runprivy.com.
Guys, if you normally go to runmycomp.com to drop your address, please drop that address in the comments today so we don't miss it. I would absolutely love that. I don't have access to that list right now. So please make sure you drop an address in the comments. I'm just going down the line.
How many people do we have submit on that website?
I would say anywhere between like 10 to 15, but that's kind of the issue is we only get to the top few on that one and then a few on the comments.
All right. Well, are you ready to comp some houses?
Yes, absolutely. Let's get started.
Awesome. Let me share my screen.
Please. What's up, Skylar? We're going to start with yours. It's going to be 1020.
One moment. Let me just get to. All right. Can you guys see this?
Yep.
Okay.
We can.
Still see it?
Yep.
All right. Go ahead.
1020 L Mar.
One more time.
1020.
Okay.
L Mar.
Spell it.
ELMAR. It's two words. I'm sorry. Like L space Mar. There we go.
Fort Myers.
Ashawan.
Okay. One sec. Cool. Let me see the comps. We got a 2-bed, 2-bath, single story, built in 1965. It's 1,017 square feet, 2-car garage, and it's been active for 6 days. Looking at the photos, definitely dated, but has had some updates, which is, potentially problematic for our sellers' mental state with what they think the property is worth. And it went pending pretty quickly. So that tells me that this is probably listed at a pretty good price. So let's check the comps. Now I'm always going in and just adjusting my settings because I want to see everything that Privy has to show me. Man, Privy is, after the summit, I realized just how many people use Privy in the marketplace. And it's like, it's the sweetheart of the entire real estate space. It's such an incredible tool. Look at this 425. We got a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1145 square feet. So just about 100 square feet larger than our subject, sold at 425. Let's take a look at it. Does look like it was fully remodeled. Check it out. Really nice job. So that's going to be the comp. 425. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go by dollars per square foot so I can adjust it down a little bit. So I'll do 425,000 divided by 1145. That gives me $371 a square foot. And I multiply that by 1017, which is my square footage. And that gets me to an ARV of around 380. So if 380 is my ARV, I know I need to be buying this at about 65% of ARV, which is about 250, which makes sense why it's pending at 259. So it looks like it's priced well. I would have gone in at about 250 on this, but yeah, it's a deal.
If a wholesaler got it under contract at that 250 on day one, they should have a pretty successful time even getting rid of it at list price, right?
I agree. Yeah, maybe even going 10 over list would still work.
Get it sold, Skylar. I know you can. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Austin put this particular property in front of a few people on my team. So
amazing.
Right. 3911.
Yep.
West Palo Verde, PALO space VERDE Drive, and this is in your backyard.
Yeah, I know Palo Verde. It's right by Camelback. We've got, so this is like 39th and it's in the Maryville Heights area.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. 5-bed, 2-bath, 2-story. It does not look like a 2-story house. Single-story house, does not have a 4-car garage, has a 2-car garage. So some of the data here is a little off. 6,800 square foot lot. Let's take a look at, the comps. Maybe it's a 2-story in the back there. Hold on. I see some additional potos. Maybe there's some stairs inside. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. It has a 2nd story and a pool and a poo. Okay. Good thing we looked. All right. So check in the comps. Just need to adjust our settings as always, because I want to see everything. At this size, we're probably going to be in the 400s. Yep, there's a 430. Let's take a look at this one. It's a model match, 2148 square feet, 66 build, 7,000 square foot lot, sold at 430. When did that sell? In July of 23. Let's see if there's anything. There's a 437. Same model match or very close to. And when did this sell? Again in 23. I'm going to see if I can find a comp from 24. Just to round this out, but it looks to me like that's the right number. Ooh, let's check this 470 out. So this one's a little larger. That still gets us to the, okay, here it is. Now let's see if this has a 2-story in the back, because if it doesn't, then we're going to stick at our 430 ARV. Nope, no stairs. So 430 is the ARV on this one. I would be offering 70% of that, 68% of that actually. So I'd be going in at like 290 to 300 on my offer.
Sweet. Let's keep it on moving. I've got 1062 Elysian, ELYSIAN. Pretty sure I did not get that right. Park, Elysian. Southwest.
Park.
Atlanta.
Okay. 1062 Elysian Park, Atlanta, Georgia. Wow.
It says it's
I don't-
actually land and acreage, and the seller's asking 290, but we might not be able to comp this if we don't know how big that land is.
Yeah, there's not a lot of details here. I'm gonna take this over to Zillow.
Will you see if you put a southwest in front of Atlanta, if that takes us somewhere else in the...
I did put in Southwest and it didn't make a difference.
Okay.
So let's see what Zillow has to say.
I see some names I know that went to Squat Up Summit. You guys, that room was packed full of like missing pieces in your business. Like everywhere I turned, I met new people who could like add in very specific, very cool ways. And this is just an extension of it. These people are in this room. Like holler if you need anything or if you're in a specific market and need help.
It says it's a 6-acre lot. I don't buy that. Let's see. I don't think we have enough details on this one, honestly.
Okay.
We need more. We need more information. I need the lot size to really be able to tell what this would sell for. So sadly, we have to. We need more information in order to comp that one.
Cool. Let's keep moving for now. Darren, feel free to hit me up on IG, just at Corianne Wright, and I'll connect you to somebody who can help with that. Let's do 6144 West McKinley Street in Phoenix.
6144 West McKinley, 3-bed, 1-bath, single-story house, South Phoenix, 1164 square feet, 6,500 square foot lot, active for 49 days. Looking at the pics, it's dated. Let's see what it's worth. Man, wasn't it so cool to hang out with Benson out there too?
Yes. And I'm fine. I feel kind of like vindicated because I told everybody, I was like, no, Benson is built. And I had people come up to me and be like, you weren't kidding. He's built. I was
he's
like,
a
I
big
know.
boy.
It's like a bear hug.
Big boy Benson for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a, oh, that's a 2017 build. Let's see this 350 again. 1266. This is close to us. Okay, so 350 at 1266. When did this sell? 24. So that's probably pushing us to about a 330 ARV. They're listed at 300, so obviously overpriced. So 330 at 68%. They should be at about 2.25. So I'd offer them 225.
Perfect. Let's help out Jen Thompson with, oh wait, that's the one we just did. Sorry guys, I'm trying to keep up in your chat. 3211 Tuskegee Street in
spell that and bless you.
Tuskegee Street in Dallas.
Okay. I would pronounce it Tuskegee, but maybe it's Tuskegee. I don't know. 3211 Tuskegee Street in Dallas, Texas. We've got 2-bed. I don't know how many baths, but let's assume 1. 34 days on market. Doesn't give us any details on the size, so that's hard. Maybe it's in the listing. It's a duplex, but no, they don't have full details here in the listing, which is really tough because we don't know the size of this, which is going to, matter on our ARV. So, and because this is non-disclosure, I can't look this up on Zillow. Unfortunately, it doesn't populate. So, well, maybe it'll tell me at least the square footage. It won't give me comps, but maybe it'll tell me the square footage. So hold on one second. Let me look real quick.
John Adams just asked, what is the website that Jamil is using? Hi, John. Welcome. You must be new here. But we always use Privy. Privy is our all-time favorite software for comping. And because you are here, I'm glad you're here, we've got a discount code for you. It's comping. That'll get you 30% off the annual
Compin. COMPIN.
See, I'm going to drop it in the chat so you can just copy paste that sucker. It'll get you 20% off the first month if you go that route.
So it's 1,800 square feet. Each is a 2-bed, 1-bath at 900 square feet. So I got that from Zillow. So now we know the size. 1,800 square feet. Let's check some comps. Always good to have some resources available to you. And, a simple Google search can help you so much sometimes when you have questions. So diving in, let's check this 364. That's new build. Not going to help. Let's look at this 320. Also a single family over here. Let's see what this is. 1,450 square feet. Now, because it is still considered single family, I'm going to comp it based on its square footage. So we got 1,450 square feet here. We are 400 square feet larger. So that pushes me above 320. Let's see how much above, because I don't see a lot of other options here, but how do I?
That's awesome. Ben Power said he talked to Benson several times. He's fantastic. Answered several questions about his market in Minnesota. That's cool.
Of course he did. That's Benson. That's how he rocks.
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, Jamil, do you surround yourself with anything but good people? That's what you do.
No. And if I get a different vibe, they ain't around long. That's how it is.
Yeah.
I cut bait fast if the vibe ain't right. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna call this one. What was that last number that I had? 320, was it?
Yes, I believe so.
So I think I think the most you can give it is a 330, but that's as high as I would take this.
Okay.
So 330 ARV. It's listed at 220. It's been on the market for quite some time. So let's see. I'm probably going to say this is a full gut based off of its the photo that we have here and no inside pictures. So full gut. 330. I'd say you want to be at about 50% of that. So I'd be offering 165, 170.
Beautiful. Onward and upward to the next one. 5908 Chicory, CHICORY, Court, CT, in Newport Richey, Florida.
Okay. 5908 Chicory Court, Newport Richey, Florida. 3-bed, 2-bath, single story, 1,568 square foot, 15,000 square foot lot, 1964 build, active 13 days. Looking at the pics, we've got, it's dated. Here's a couple of things I want to point out. When a homeowner puts, new countertops or steel appliances in their house, and, they probably did this tile job, I don't know, 15 years ago, and I don't know what they've gone on the wall here, but some other design feature. So that tells me that this person spent some money in this house, 15-ish years ago. Excuse me. They're going to believe this house is like updated. Let's see.
They're definitely going for a retail sale.
They are.
If nothing else, like you've got to know that they rather have a buyer that's got 2.5 kids if you're seeing something like that happen.
Now it is pending. So that tells me that it's probably a good price. So let's check the comps. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but we'll see. Just going to make some adjustments here to the settings. Want to see everything.
Beautiful.
And then let's dive in.
I'm glad you guys are all here to watch the Compin Goat. This is my favorite part of the week. I missed you guys last week.
Yeah, it sucked being away, for sure. I totally miss the fam too when we're not around. So this is a 96 build at 390. So that doesn't fare well for our price currently. Here's a 24 build at 370. So again, this 360 seems really high. This 300 list price seems really, really high. Dang. Honestly, we've got a 370 sale at 24. Okay, and it's around the same size. So we're not near 370. I'm gonna have to go into the 200s here. Let's look at this 270. We've got a 270 sale that's smaller. We got a 290 sale that's smaller.
Mm.
So I feel like we're not at 370 because of that sale. We're larger than we're above 290. So I think the ARV in this is like 320 and they're listed at 300. So whoever has this thing under contract, I hope you got it substantially below list price. Otherwise you've overpaid for it. So I'm going to say, a 320 ARV, we're in Port Richey. So you need to be at about 65%. So I'd be offering like 210. I don't know what you've got this under contract at, but my gut tells me with how many days on market it is, you're probably somewhere closer to 300, and I think you're in this thing too high. That's just my back of the napkin gut check right now with what we've got.
Yeah. And the reason, remind us all again why you're not pulling from the 370s or 390s. Those are just too big.
Because we have a 360 sale that's a brand new build that's around the same size.
Oh, okay. So that's what's discounting this, which is in the 1960s. Because me as a family, if I'm like a brand new family, I'm looking for my first home or something like that. Of course, I'm going to choose a new build, and that's going to have one of the higher values in the neighborhood.
Of course. And then this house at 390 that sold, it's on it's a 1996 build, and it's about the same size, but it's a 96 build, and we have a 64 build. So again, if you're comparing and you have a brand new construction house that's the same size that's available for 360, 370, why would you even pay 390? So, I think you got about a 330 ARV here. And so that means you need to be at around like 210 on this thing.
Beautiful. Let's jump to Lori Jane, the beautiful, and do 105 East Anderson Street. And of course, Pensacola, where she is queen.
The Pensacola queen. Let's see what she's got.
Yeah.
Does she tell us how many beds it is?
She said it's 2 homes on 1 lot. But okay. I still, one main home, I'm guessing, and then there must be an ADU in the back.
Yeah, that's how you have to treat it if they're not on separate parcels anyway. So just looking at what Zillow's telling me, Zillow says doesn't have a lot. It's all off. It says 1,300 square feet, but it's not giving me much there. So not helpful. Going back to Privy.
She said it's a 2-2. Thank you for dropping more info.
Thank you. So a 2-2 with does she know the size of the additional house?
I'm sure she does. Tell us, Lori Jane. I'm staring at the chat. While we're waiting on that, Bernice said, where are you getting the range from, like 65%, 70%, 68%? Will you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I have a US ARV map that I make available to astro flipping students that tells us what percentage of ARV you need to offer for either a cosmetic or a full gut. So cosmetic and full gut are going to be different percentages. So that's how we take into consideration the condition of the house. Also, Privy will sometimes tell us what percentage of ARV we can offer based off of what flips are selling for. So let's take a look at this 185, for instance. This 185 is a 1,600 square footer. Oh, this is a manufactured home. That's not a single family home. That's another thing.
Anderson Street one?
Yeah, it says manufactured on ours.
It doesn't look like it in that photo to me, but maybe it's a double wide.
Not sure. It does look like a single family to me, so I'm gonna go with that. But so let's look at this.
But she doesn't know the back ADU, so I think we just need to look at that front and at least get its value.
Yep. So was this a flip? It was not a flip. It was bought at 160, sold at 185 a couple of years later. So not a flip house.
Steve, I see your question, but I'm a little lost in it. If you'll try me again, I'll ask.
I think this 166 is pretty close in line with what we are. So we had a 180 on a larger. We have a 166 here. So I feel like you probably got a 175 house, Lori Jane. That's not taking into consideration the ADU. But again, without details on that or even knowing of the, what the construction type is, I think it's going to be hard to give that ADU any value. So I'm going to say 175, Lori Jane. And your market there in Pensacola, I think you probably need to be. So if we got, what did we say, 170?
Yeah.
She probably needs to be at 55% of that. So I'd be going in around. Well, I'd be going in around 90, but it's been listed at 99. So let's take a look at the listing right now. Active 2 days. So it's active 2 days. Lori Jane, I think maybe go in at 80, 85 and see how that flies.
Beautiful. There's a lot of Arizona in the house. Next up, we're going right back to Glendale. 14037, 14037 North 49th Ave. There it is. Right at the tippy top.
Cool. 14037 North 49th Avenue, Glendale, Arizona. 3-bed, 2-bath. Look at how much these things were selling for back in 2012. Crazy, right? 55 grand. Single story house, detached garage, 7,600 square foot lot. Let's take a look.
Guys, this is Privy. And if you go to www.runprivy.com, you can use our promo code. It's Compin. That's going to get you 30% off the annual plan or 20% off your first month. If you don't have Compin, I highly, highly suggest you have Privy, because even myself as an agent, I use this over the MLS. It just pulls it right up for you. So much easier. Save yourself some time.
Yes, ma'am. We've got a model match sale here at 324. We got another model match at 340, and it's a very recent model match. So 340 is your ARV. You're going to need to be at 68% of that. So I'd be offering them 230. 230.
Beautiful. All right. 6565 Rio Vista Street in Las Vegas.
6565 Rio Vista Street, Las Vegas, Nevada. 4-bed, 3-bath, 2-story, built in 1989, 4,964 square foot house with a 4-car garage. This looks like an estate. Let's dive into some comparables. What kind of tea you drinking?
I'm drinking throat coat tea with some honey.
Throat coat.
Ooh.
She got that throat coat. Okay, so we got an 1,700 square footer sold for $945. Let's look at this 1.9.
Woo! Jen Thompson says she just signed up for Privy. Your life just got easier. Congratulations.
It did.
Richard said this has some fire damage.
Okay. Fire damage. I think you've got a 1.9 house here. So I think ARV on this is probably going to be around, 1.9 to 2 million. Fire damage, I would say you probably need to be at like 800, 750 on your offer. 750 to 800 on the offer would be where I'd come in at.
Wonderful. Let's go to Baltimore. 3530 Park Heights Ave. Heights spelled Height. Lovely, right there on top.
3530 Park Heights Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland. What is this? It's a multifamily. How many units? Not enough details here. Also, I need to know. In multifamily, I can only do 4 units or less, guys, because we are only. I'm only set up to do single family and multifamily up to 4 units. So can't do this one, unfortunately.
Onward and upward. Let's do 290 County Road, If it's a county road already, I'm like, there's no buyers out there, but let's check it out. County Road 302 in Walnut, Mississippi. I just caught my own biases to county roads. I live off
Yeah,
of
there's like nothing here. It's not even coming up. 290 County Road 302 what?
Walnut, Mississippi. Oh, right there.
Here we go. All right, it came up. And this was just bought in March of 2024. Looks like for $1,700. Okay. We don't have bed count, or we have a 2-bath, single story, 85 build, 1,000 square footer. Not much else to tell us.
Been asked if I'm sick? No, I just spent so much time yelling, Jamil, from the back of the room and then chatting y'all up until like 3 a.m. And I realized I'm not 20 anymore.
No comps. No comps here. My guess is it's worth what they paid for it, $2,000. So that's where we are.
Lovely.
I would not waste time on that property, just so you know.
Can we show real quick why Privy is so great at finding whether there's buyers in the area? Will you just pull up Phoenix and show that off while I find where I am in the chat? Slight excuse.
I mean, look, when you're looking at Privy, it gives you all kinds of details, right? So it'll tell you the heat map. It tells you how many investor sales happen in a specific area. So you can really get a feel for whether or not it's an area where you should be, focusing your time and energy. You can see there's a ton of activity here in Phoenix, Arizona. And because you can see there's all this buyer activity, you know that it's a great place to work. Now, again, let's look at Walnut, Mississippi, and we can see what that shows us. Nothing. So again, the goal here, guys, is, the point of view I take is, if I want to get hit, I play in traffic. Okay. I don't spend my time or resources marketing in areas where there's no buyer activity, where there's just no sale activity, because so what, I can get a house for $2,000. If nobody wants to buy it, what's the point? Right. So I'm always looking for markets that have a high, high buyer activity, like we just saw in Phoenix, Arizona.
Thank you for showing that off. All right, here's your address, 10924 West Santa Fe Drive, Sun City, Arizona.
10924 West Santa Fe Drive, Sun City, Arizona. This is going to be in an age-restricted community, which, just so you know, Sun City is 55 plus. It's a condo, so we need to look for comps within the building. It says it's a 2-bath. I imagine it's also a 2-bed. It has a one-car spot, I would imagine. 1,633 square foot property. All right, let's take a look at what we can find in the complex. I might have to go to Zillow for this so I can get right into the complex, but we'll try Privy first. Not a ton there, so let's move on over. Moving on over to Zillow.
Bernice, I see your question keep coming up. Anyone know the ARV in New Jersey? I feel like there might be some confusion, but you've given that question a few times, so I want to kind of clarify. An ARV is an after repair value on any given specific property. So there isn't a New Jersey ARV. But what I'm guessing you're asking is, what's the percentage of ARV you should use in New Jersey? And to know that, you've really got to know, where do your buyers pick up? And so I highly suggest either using Privy and what we just showed you to look for buyers in New Jersey so that you can see where they've purchased at, or having a dispo partner, and I know a great one in our Astro community in New Jersey, who can walk you through where you need to pick up in wherever you're actually working specifically. I hope that helps. Find me on IG at my name, and I will connect you to Luke.
All right, so we've got a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,633 square foot condo built in 1970 here. Let's get into the map and see what the community is showing us. So here's our subject, 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,633. Let's see what this is. So we got a 2-bed, 2-bath sale at 245. So, and it's smaller, so that's good. Let's see if we got anything above 245. Here's a 275. 2-bed, 2-bath. That's from 22, so that's not going to work. So 245 so far is our highest. Let's keep looking. There's a 250. This is good because it's smaller than our subject. Our subject was 1633, so we're at 250 now. Let's check out this 255. Not going to work because it's from 22. Also, it's crossing the major road and out of the complex, and I believe that's the highest that we've got. So 250, you got a little bit more square footage. Sorry. Yeah, you got a little bit more square footage. So I'd say you're probably at about a 260 on that one. Now, at a 260 in Sun City, you're probably going to need to be at 60% of ARV. So 260 times 0.6, I would be offering them 155.
Okay, Steve is looking at that as potentially his first flip, and he says the wholesaler is listing it at 162.
Okay, so not bad, right? I would say 155 is the right number. 162.5 is not terrible. So the only thing I would take into consideration, Steve, when you're flipping in Sun City is the following. You're going to pay a $4,000 HOA fee in any property that you buy in Sun City. It goes to the city of Sun City every time the property is transferred. So immediately you're going to have a $4,000 fee that you're going to have to pay just to buy the property. Your buyer is also going to need to pay that $4,000 fee when you sell it. So that's going to reduce the number of buyers who are going to want to buy there. Secondly, because it's age restricted and it's Sun City, 55 plus, they typically have a buying season for that type of demographic, right? And that buying season is not the summertime. That buying season is usually when, actually, I'm sorry, that buying season is when the snowbirds come to town, and that is actually right now. But if you pick it up right now and you flip it, let's say it's going to take you 90 days to get into it. So we're in May, June, July. You're going to be right along the end of the season. So if you go really fast, you could potentially find a buyer. I don't think it's a terrible time. I think if you are going to make this purchase, I would be really, really, really efficient, and I would get this flip done quick because you want to make sure that you catch the snowbirds before they leave for the winter.
Beautiful. And he actually just dropped and said, "Oh no, actually they're at 174." And I'm like, "Ooh, you're losing income."
I would pass on that, bro. It's a little too high.
That is definitely a little too high. Okay. I got a few different things going on here. We're going to go to New Jersey. Hopefully this helps both Melissa and Bernice. It's going to be 397 East 30th Street, Paterson, New Jersey. And that's Pater. Yeah, right.
New Jersey is always tough because they don't tell us a lot. But we've got a 2-story property. We have no idea about the bed bath, but it's 1,894 square feet, and it is 194 days on market. So overpriced. Did I say overpriced? It's overpriced.
It's overpriced.
Let's see how much overpriced it is. So here's a 453 sale, 1,762 square feet, 1950 build. Doesn't tell us what our year build is on ours, so unfortunately we can't see if that makes sense or not. But 450 seems in line with where we would kind of need to be. It's a little smaller than our subject. Let's check this 515 out. Okay, this 515 is good. 1,638 square feet. So that's in line with our size as well. And then there's not much else around it. Let's check out this 600. We may be stretching. We are because it's a 2,108 square feet. So I think you've got about a 515, 520 at the max. Now I'm gonna say that based off of what I can see in the photos, this looks like an older property, so it's probably gonna be a full gut. Now, if you're gonna do full gut New Jersey, you need to be at 45% of that. So if we've got what did we say, 550? What was it? Five what?
Yeah, yes, I
I
believe
think
that's right.
530. 530 at 45%
Right.
means you need to be at about 240 on your offer. They're listed at 400. So no wonder this has been sitting on the market. They're just grossly overpriced, but they've also been on for 194 days. So they're definitely motivated at this point. So go make the 240 offer. Maybe you can go to 250, but I wouldn't go much higher than that.
Beautiful. 25730 Warwick Road, Warwick, in Menifee, right there. I don't know.
Yep.
Sorry if I butchered it.
There we go. 34 days on market, 3-bed, 2-bath, single story, 2-car garage, 1765 square foot, active for 34 days. Taking a look at the pics, dated for sure. Could use some cosmetic updates. Great wallpaper here. It's grandma's house. This is grandma's house. Look at all these little wall. This is such a sweet. This looks like a very sweet family living here, or a really sweet grandma. Super neat, tidy. You can tell that a lot of pride of ownership in this thing, but definitely dated and needs a remodel.
That's a cool grandma. She's got kinky boots on her wall.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool grandma. She was like the kind of grandma you were like excited to go visit when it was Christmas time,
Oh, absolutely.
So this is a little large at 490. So we're going to keep looking. It's large by like 200 square feet. So we may be able to use it if we have to, but I'm going to see what else we've got. This 405, let's see that. 1,600 square footer. Looks like it was remodeled. So that pushes us above 405, below 490. So we're somewhere at like 450 right now. Let's keep looking. Model Machi, 3.2, 1765. When did this sell? In December of 23, so almost 24. That's your ARV, 485. So 485, I think you probably need to be at about 65% in Menifee, California. So if 485 is the ARV, 65% of that gets you to about 315. They're listed at 399. So I'd offer them 320 on this and see what happens.
Wait, before you back out, will you click into that comp, the 485 comp? It looks like a fresh flip. Let's see where that buyer picked up at.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Just because I want everybody to see that even if you don't already know 65%, like our comp and goat here, if you click in to your comps and you go to this before and after button, that's right, boom, voila, we get to see where the flipper picked up.
They bought it at 57% of ARV.
Interesting.
So I'm a little higher than that. And so, what did I say?
You said 65%, leaving you at 315. Yeah. But this is also only one comp. This could be a buyer that buys much lower than everybody else around it. True. So you can look at other comps as well and see what percentage they land at. And you're compiling that data so that you, the head of your market, know exactly where you should actually be picking up for your buyer pool.
Correct. Based on this, you'd be wanting to buy this at 275. And they're listed at 399. I think that's not going to fly. So, just my gut tells me go in at 315, 320.
Beautiful. Go with the comp and goat gut. All right. Tyler Townsley. I got the honor of meeting him at Squad Up Summit, and he's got an address for us at Mesa, Arizona. Let's do 703 West 6th Ave.
703 West 6th Avenue, Mesa, Arizona. Doesn't tell us how many beds, but it's a 3-bath. So I'm going to say probably 4 or 5 bed. 2,900 square foot. So 5-bed, single story, 14. Pardon me?
An attached ADU. Excuse me for cutting you off. There's an attached ADU. I missed that following comment of a one-on-one.
Attached ADU. So how is it an ADU if it's attached?
It's still an auxiliary dwelling unit. It's not.
Yeah, but
Well,
if it's all under roof, it's just square footage. It's not an ADU.
interesting.
If it's
That's
under
only
roof,
makes sense.
if it's under roof, it's not an ADU. But you know, in Mesa and Phoenix, there's a lot of guest houses and casitas. So I would just make sure that it's not attached. All right, diving in. We got a 4.2 1824 square footer built in 65 that sold for 520 recently. So it's a little small, a little large, smaller than us. But this is problematic for the biggest house in the neighborhood, which is what this is going to be. You can't use dollar per square foot and multiply this off to never land. It's just not going to fly. What an appraiser will typically do is they'll give you an additional, at this price point, they usually give you an additional 10%. In anything over 500, they'll give you 10%. If it's below 500, they'll give you 10 grand. So I'd say you can probably add another 50,000 to that. So I'd say your ARV is probably about 550 to 570. So if we're gonna just say 570, I'd be at 68% of that. So I think you need to go in at around 385 on your offer.
Beautiful. All right, I got 2730 North Dearborn Street in Indianapolis. Thank you, Alex, for your patience. We don't have any back-end support today, so I'm scrolling to the bottom of the comments. I'm scrolling to the top of the comments. So thank you guys all for your patience as we try to make sure that we get to as many as possible.
2730 North Dearborn Street, Indianapolis.
That's the one.
All right, here we go. We got a 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,056 square footer, single story, built in 42. Looks rough. It's got a remodel right next door though, so that's good.
That's a good sign. It's perfectly ugly in every way. We can already tell from the outside.
Full rehab opportunity. All right, and been active 48 days, so they've overpriced this significantly, but by how much? By how much is the question. What are you having for dinner out there in the country girl?
I'm making broccoli cheddar soup tonight.
Ooh, soup for the girl with no voice.
That's the goal.
Here we've got a 200 sale. That's a 1314 square footer. So we're below 200. Let's check this 150 out. This is 891 square feet. So we're above 150, below 200. Let's see if we can find a 170 somewhere. Let's this 188. Ooh, 93 build. So can't use it. Too bad. See if I can find a 170 anywhere. Okay, 3.2, 98 build, so not usable. But I think that pushes us back down. So I think we've got about a 160 house here, tops. Okay, so if we got a 160 house, it's listed at 62. That means that this thing's going to need a tremendous amount of work. Let's see what it works out to at 35%. That's 56. I don't think that's going to be enough room for a buyer. So 62 is the list price. I'd probably go in at like 35 and see what happens.
Yeah, go get it. Mark, I appreciate that you don't want to spam the chat with an address. Let's jump to yours. 346 Taser Street, Northwest Atlanta.
Taser is spelled T-A-S-E-R?
T-A-Z-O-R. Should have brought that up. I don't know why. I just figured you could feel my brain.
Huh. It's all good. 346 Taser Street, Atlanta, Georgia. 3-bed, 1-bath, 178 days on market. Oh my goodness. Overpriced galore. 966 square foot house, 35 build, single story. Let's look inside. It is dated for sure. They've probably got this listed at ARV. You want to know why I think that? Because they've got a steel appliances. So this person thinks that they live in the freaking Taj Mahal, but it's like super janky inside, right? Like, look at this thing. Then they painted it gray. So I'm telling you that this is listed at ARV for sure, based on the like shoddy grade paint and the shoddy kitchen in there. This person definitely, went to their agent and was like, "This is fully remodeled."
Hopefully it's not somebody's like first flip or something where they just painted the pig. I see those a lot.
I know, but if it is, just like, do better.
Yeah,
That's why flipping ain't easy, man. You got to get designers. You got to really look at the functionality, and that's why not every flip is going to work. You got to really, really, really know what you're doing when you're trying to flip a house. Because I've lost money on flips before. It's a real thing. So we got a 3.2 1120 square footer at 215. So that pushes us. But look at this. This is remodeled, Corianne. Check this out. Remodeled, larger, sat on the market 51 days, sold at 215. And this is like a nice remodel. So that tells us that this is listed at ARV. So ARV on this is 200. That's the list price. Okay, so if 200 is the ARV, you're going to need a full scale remodel on this. I think you need to be at about 55%. So I'd be offering them 110 on this pig.
Get to it. Go lock it up. 110.
And I'm sorry if the person who put that in the chat is the person who remodeled it. Just live in it.
All right, 2271.
And if you're thinking right now, I don't want to live in it, then now you know why no one else does. Okay, on to the next one.
2271 Mackland Road. That's Macland. There you go. Right there on top, Marietta, Georgia.
Okay, 4-bed, 3-bath, single story, 2378 square foot house, large lot, almost an acre and a half, a little larger than that too. In Marietta, 1960 build. I know Marietta is a really poppin' part of Georgia.
The only reason I know that is because I've seen like mini closed deals from our Astro family dropped into our Facebook group with that.
In Marietta?
Marietta, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people doing some cool stuff out there for sure. So none of those, that's not viable. It's all too new. It's a lot of new construction out here. Damn.
G. Guys, if you don't know, Jamil has a really cool new podcast called jdamji, and he interviews some of the freaking coolest people. You should go watch it at some point. Not right now.
Super cool people. Thank you, Corianne. Yeah, I'm really enjoying that podcast too. So here's a 325 just on the other side of McCland Road, which I think is fair because you're on the main road here, which is going to be a thing. Now, because you're on the main road, I'm going to say that we're going to give it a wash for the additional square footage, but we've got large lot, 50 build. Ours is a 60. This is a 53, 325. I'm going to say you're at a 325 ARV. So if you got a 325 ARV on this one, where should you be buying it? Based off of a 1960 build, I'd probably say 55% of that. So I'd be going in at like 180. 175, 180.
Beautiful. Let's go to 20 Paso Verde. That's PASEO Verde in Salinas, California. Voila.
Okay. 20, Paseo Verde, 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,400 square footer, 100,000 square foot lot. So like 2.5 acres ish. Man, it's a mess. Look at this thing.
Oof. They just had fun with a sledgehammer and then.
Oh my God. It's like falling over into the world here.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa. This is a teardown.
That has to be. You don't fix that.
This is a teardown. This is lot value only. This is not going to be super easy. Let's take it over to Zillow and see what I can find around it.
Kenneth, I'm sorry, we cannot go back to your address right now, but if you want to DM me, I'll connect you to the absolute best in the Astro community on that to help you get it comped. And honestly, the reason is I can't find you in that address again. So please, we would love to be helpful. We really do.
Okay, so you've got, damn, like not a ton going on here. There's not a ton of sales. You know, you're probably got about $1 million, $1.4 million ARV, which is what is like a lot of sales here are at that. And so, you know, if your house is selling at 1.4, but it's raw land, right? So you're going to need to buy this thing at, I would probably say about 20% of that. So 1,400,000 times 0.2. I'd be offering them like 280 for it.
Beautiful. Stay in Zillow because I'm pretty sure Privy and Hawaii don't hang out yet together, but they will eventually. We're gonna do 1511. Kalapai. Let's see, Kalae. Right there on top.
Kalepa.
Guys, I gotta go to Hawaii. I've never been, and then I'll be able to pronounce it correctly.
1511 Kalaepa Drive, Honolulu, Hawaii. 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,456 square foot. Look at this thing. Also, I mean, this is practically a teardown too. Look at that. This thing needs to just get demolished. But you know, it's in Honolulu, which is an amazing place.
Just a reminder, guys, if you're looking at something and you're like, I'm pretty sure this has got to go, we're going to wipe this down. You're looking for new builds in that area because that's who your buyer is. Your buyer is somebody who's going to be having that piece of land and rebuilding something beautiful. So you need to find new builds within the last 2 years. If there isn't that, save yourself some time and walk away.
But it's not to say that somebody won't build there. It's just, you know, there's no comps to prove value, which is the tough part, right? And so what you do is you look at the, you know, the closest thing that we've got. And so you look at like highly remodeled, you know, what would be the highest and best that somebody could do. So let's just say for this, for instance, right? This isn't a new build by any means, but it's the highest price sale in the area. And so a builder would be definitely trying to hit this 1.5, but what would the builder need to pay in order to make that 1.5 work, right? Because they need to be able to usually, well, it's new construction and they got to be able to afford to demolish the house and all of that as well. So again, 20% would be where I'd be at 1.5, 20% of that is 300. So I'd be offering them 300 for that lot.
Beautiful. Can you believe that was an hour?
I can't, man. That's they go by so quickly, but super awesome for us to be back. And I know we're going to be back again on Wednesday, guys, at 1 p.m. Pacific for another episode of Straight Outta Compin. And remember, guys, if you're doing any deals in Corian's neck of the woods, Corian, where can people do business with you?
Anywhere in Colorado. I'm the problem solver you need to know. So along the Front Range is the best place to work with me. You can find me on IG or on YouTube at Corianne Wright. Follow me, hit me up, and let's do some business together.
Do some business with Corianne. She's incredible, super helpful, and wants to work with you. Until the next time, guys, make sure if you're not using Privy already, go to runprivy.com and use code COMPIN, COMPIN, for 30% off the annual, 20% off the monthly subscription. And we'll see you all on Wednesday. Peace.